capitalism because I don't think it's a true system. That is, it's an imaginary system. It doesn't work. Anything else you want to know?
Nope. It just sounds like you're pretty fucking based. I think there's a based.
What does that mean?
I don't know if you heard that. I don't know. It's like you have like
that's actually the opposite of based, isn't it?
Is correct, and just hasn't like fully caught on yet, or something like that.
Oh,
the word that the kids use.
When you say you don't believe in capitalism, I assume that you believe some parts of it, like not 100% complete open free market capitalism with like zero taxation, that sort of thing, right?
well, I believe that an absolute free market with competition all around can't exist. It's not a sustainable system because the system will inevitably lean towards one of the players, and once it does that, then now you have a monopoly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I can't understand Hansen. He's so brilliant at mathematics, apparently. But the man is like super simple when it comes to his political views. He's like 100% capitalist.
He is, and I mean, 100% capitalist is kind of like being 100% Marxist, right? It doesn't work. It is not based on reality. It's based on this meta system. So the way capitalism, I think, in the U.S. works is because I think U.S. is a feudal system. So capitalism here works the same way that it worked back in the village. The lord was the feudal thing up here, but down here, the hoovers and the potters and those people had a free market capitalist system, but they were not in a position to dislodge the lord from the manor.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in Canada. We're further left than you guys, I suppose. We're definitely capitalists. You know what's funny is fucking Trump. He's not a capitalist, like at all. If you bring in tariffs like that much, like that's not capitalism.
I think he's a fucking king. I guess my big thing with capitalism is like capitalism. There are things in capitalism that are important and they have a place in society. I think capitalism is, primarily about capital and contracts and what's the other thing? Capital, contracts, and private property. Sorry, capital, private property, and contract. That's sort of what this seems to me to be the thing that distinguishes capitalism from the other systems of economics. Those are the three things that are at the top of the pyramid in capitalism. But the thing that bugs the shit out of me about capitalism is that ethics is nowhere in this picture. And so we have to constantly, we're like fighting against the system. We have to have like these massive social movements to enact things like Social Security, Medicare, safety nets, antitrust laws. It's just, it's a big fucking.
Hello, Chicago. I am Mayor Brandon Johnson, and I am proud to welcome you all as you celebrate
Well, I think Trump so far has behaved more like a socialist than a capitalist by, getting the government ownership in private businesses, government takeover of art centers, government takeover of plans to renovate the Grand Central Station, right? I mean, and the kind of takeover of the economy by trying to do away with the independence of the Fed, which is one of the hallmarks of the capitalist system. So if you want the Fed to now be, playing second fiddle to the president, that was how socialist countries behaved.
Yep.
So he's basically everything that he's done has been towards subsuming free market to the whims and wills of the government. And so I don't understand how people who are into free market economy are supporting this guy.
Well, they're not.
Because
They're not.
Okay, well, I mean, I thought Republicans liked free market economy, but I guess that was a long time ago.
Well, you know what? You know what I think it is, Sam? I think they understand the game. And so you have two kinds of Republicans or two kinds of very large business owners. You have a choice. Either fight him, right? Because like you might have factories in both in Canada and the United States, and you send shit back and forth, and the world's a small place. So either fight Trump, try to get rid of the tariffs, or you have a meeting with him. You give him a cut of your action. He's a gangster. He's a socialist, concentrating power, and you play his game. So there's the two kinds.
So, he's basically behaving like a New York street thug, right? That is like basically taking protection racket from everybody that, hey, pay me this or I'll take Greenland. Right?
Yeah.
Or with all the universities. Do this or I'll cut off all your funding.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a way in a democratic society to decide on issues. That's a top-down
Totalitarian.
of a socialist totalitarian regime. So basically everything that Republicans were saying we're afraid that the Democrats are doing, now Trump is doing. The big government's gonna come and shoot you in the streets. The government's gonna come and all your civil rights, they're gonna take away all your civil rights. Well, Biden didn't do that. Obama didn't do that. Even Bush didn't do that. Reagan didn't do that. But this guy that they're so rabidly after is doing all the things that they said liberals are going to come and do this to you.
That's the irony, isn't it, Sam? I agree completely.
It's not irony, it's idiocy. It's kind of when you stop thinking and you just follow. It's when you allow emotions dictate your political position as opposed to facts.
Oh, facts don't matter. You just need to win. You need to win favor with the man. That's all. Science doesn't matter.
Nothing matters except the dear leader. And what's really amazing to me is that is precisely the tyranny that all of these Republicans were fighting against. And now they're just bowing down. I mean, it's kind of like they said, well, Susan Collins is running for re-election, and I'm like, really? She hasn't shown us how to completely become a lapdog, completely lose your independence. She has more lessons to teach us. When Lisa Murkowski comes and says we are all in fear, I was like, fear of what? That you're gonna lose your job? And she's like, oh, this vote on the big beautiful bill was the most agonizing vote ever. And it's like, of course. If on the one hand, you're agonizing over the future of America, and on the other hand, future of the job, yeah, it becomes very agonizing. But if you actually remember the oath of office that you stood, that's not agonizing at all. Very simple.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of folks in Washington, a lot of big business owners that are really deciding if they want to take a leap of faith and sign on to Donald's way of doing things, or if they could wait it out. You know, they're really trying to see which way the wind blows.
Yeah, now we know why Mercedes sided with the Nazis during World War II, right? Because they were doing the same calculations as the businesses are doing today. Should we capitulate to the fascist, or should we stand on principle? Well, if you stand on principle, you're out of business. So you capitulate to the fascist.
Yeah, we're living a history lesson right now. It's like we're in history class, and I'm Canadian, but I mean, you know, my sister's in Calgary, or sorry, Chicago. I'm in Calgary, and I'm in Alberta, and politicians are being influenced by people from Trump's camp, like big oil companies, and they're trying to get us to separate here, and you know, we're connected. We're all concerned. Oh, Sam, I know you were. Hi, Joanna. You were talking about your excitement around your taxes. Well, I built a, a course in taxes for the American individual to understand multiple people's positions. So I'll put the link in the chat, but it hopefully will help people.
Thanks. We always did my own taxes until for 2025, I'm going to be paying taxes in 3 states, and then 2026 in 4 states. So things are, I think, kind of like some of the investments and whatever are have had taxable events. So it gets kind of complicated. So what we always do is kind of create the tables and whatever that the tax preparer wants and send it to them.
Yeah. I mean, in designing these kind of courses, you got to figure out who's the audience and where do I start. If it's a huge issue like taxes, it turned out to be 20 units. Why the tax code feels impossible, how income gets taxed for the W-2 baseline, FICA, standard deduction versus itemizing, marriage and filing status, income shifting in the family, tax benefits of homeownership, selling your home, tax benefits of parenthood, education costs, the gig economy, Schedule C, the S-Corp election, business decisions, and pass-through. Capital gains, realization of principal, retirement accounts, healthcare and taxes, divorce is its own unit, how the wealthy pay less and why it's legal, estate planning basics, and tax code as policy tool. Covered quite a bit. But I wanted to be like basically personal life centric, so there's 5 different people's as case studies that it looks at. Well,
Because
click on it.
I get a statement and then my boyfriend does it. Like, I have no idea what it is about and I'd like to know. Like, I just hand him the mail.
Yeah. Well, it was written with people in mind that are either out of school and understanding it from that standpoint, and then people who are as old as 50 years old and been filing, but not paying attention to the structure of taxes. So it's all in there. Good luck. And it's not tax advice. Blah blah. But I did have a textbook along the creation of it. What's up, Pro?
The one thing I learned in my tax law class in law school was that I'm not gonna touch this shit. It's somebody else's problem, not mine. I'm gonna hand it off.
Yeah, I mean, my cousin Deborah is an accountant. She owns an accounting. So through the years, as I'm thinking, I would just give it to her. Do many people do it themselves? I know I got a lot of money back when my kids were younger. What was it called?
Well, you get to take deductions based upon the size of your household. Some of that, it's hard to say. I mean, often people that get substantial refunds are essentially just overpaying their taxes throughout the year, and they could have elected otherwise. So you're giving an interest-free loan to the government to hold on to your money. That
you know a lot about government stuff, I noticed.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to get a lot back. It's better to get little back or pay a little.
Every word you hear, your eyelids grow heavy.
Anyone watch American Horror Story? Can't find anyone who watched any of them. There's 10 seasons.
What is it streaming on? I haven't seen it.
Prime.
Oh, it's on Prime?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll check it out.
It's scary.
Oh, come on now.
I don't think you scare easily.
I used to when I was younger. I still strive to get scared. I like that feeling of being scared.
Me too. That's why I'm watching it. I'm getting all excited with fear. It's some kind. This one's like a vampire-ish one, but it's well done.
The last vampires movie I saw was Sinner. It was a really good movie. I didn't get scared though.
I think the scaredest I was Jaws back when it came out.
Oh, you know what got me? My dad took me to Aliens when it first came out in the movie theater.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I guess surround sound was being used. Whoa, that freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was like, badass.
Whatever happened to those rumble seats? Remember, like a couple movies that had like your chair shook a little bit. Did those go away?
Yeah, and there was a movie called Earthquake, and the whole theater shook. It was in the late 70s, early 80s. Yep, Earthquake was the name of the movie. And our seats shook.
I live in Los Angeles. That's just called my life.
Yeah, I hate fucking
Oh my
earthquakes, man.
God, funny.
They're
Yeah,
scary, dude.
because-
So you never know how long they're gonna last.
Oh my God! On this American Horror Story, it's in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is got an earthquake, and I'm like, oh my God, how apropos. And they have 4 seats on a plane, and everyone's rushing to get on this plane with Evan Peters.
I have a funny earthquake story. I was in that big ass earthquake in 2011 there in Tokyo, and anyways, teaching like art at the Canadian International School, and walls started shaking, and I had actually like a month earlier broken my leg from playing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was in my cast, and everything started shaking. I'm like, just another small one, but the fuck up, man, it was shaking like really hard, kept going, kept shaking. The I-beams were smacking into each other, you know? Right, Roy, earthquakes are loud if you're in a building.
Yeah, sure.
It can be terrifying if it's a big one, like all the I-beams like smacking against and scratching and screeching in windows. Anyway, so I run down the fucking stairs with my broken leg. I re-broke it, but I didn't know at the time because it wasn't actually that healed. It didn't hurt. Anyways, long story short, I started walking home, and like Tokyo's massive. It's like 30 kilometers with my crutches because all the trains shut down. And I got some beer, and I stopped in a hotel lobby, and the Japanese saw me. They're like, oh, poor Gaijin with a broken leg. And I was sitting on this bench with like 2 chicks, and one of the staff from the hotel was like, hey, are you okay? And we had been drinking beer or whatever, and this is before I was married. Anyways, I ended up spending the night with 2 girls on the top of a hotel, swinging from side to side during aftershocks. It was pretty cool.
What do you guys do with a box of 3.5-inch floppies that you found in the back of your closet as you're cleaning it out because you're moving? Do you just throw it out?
Run it over a magnet first.
It's actually not.
No, it's new.
They're brand new. List them on eBay. See if anybody wants to buy them.
I bought a 30-pack, and I have maybe 7 left. No, I'll just throw them away.
Wait,
Yeah.
what are they again? I didn't hear what they were.
3.5-inch floppy.
3.5-inch floppies.
Oh, floppy disk. Oh, wow.
The hard
Man,
floppies.
old. That's
Yeah.
way old.
The 5 1/4 is older.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's 25 years old or something, or somewhere around
Oh,
there.
yeah. Absolutely.
Were they double density?
Let me see. I'm sure they are. Yeah, no, high density.
High density HD.
Right, the thick
Yeah,
ones.
1.44 megabytes.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
I mean, back in the day, this was like really cool.
Great Scott, 1.44 megawatt.
Hold on to that shit, man. If there's an EMP attack, shit like that, I mean, I don't know. Would it still work if there's EMP? You know, that's why you gotta have like an old truck with like no electronics too.
But I mean, how would I check this?
Check what? If it still works?
Yeah, I have a computer that reads.
Well, it's like having a CD-ROM. You have to go figure out how I'm going to buy a drive to read it.
Yeah.
Right, so if they're blank, move on. If they had data on them, it'd be funny to see, wow, this is how many kilobytes my resume was.
You should at least look on eBay and see if anybody's selling them. See if there's some vintage collector, or maybe somebody wants to use them for an art project or something.
It's BASF, what's
Sam,
their
I can
7
look up.
discs back?
I can
Art
look
students
to
will use
want
that
me
shit.
to-
Shit.
I can do a quick search if you want me to, because I have an eBay account.
No, I do
See if
too.
they'll sell. Okay.
I don't want to deal with it. That's
Art students will use it. They'll like make some kind of what is it called? Like sarcastic art, 90s art or something.
yeah, requires artistic talent.
Oh, I got a present. I got something from eBay or Amazon. I forgot what it was. Might not be mine.
Za has resilience, I'm going to say. Za has resilience. Done. Larry. Laurie. Let's see what else we got. So, platinum, gold, silver, anything that you guys, gold. All right, let's do some gold. And then let's do a half grams, and then we'll bump into some bigger stuff. Half gram. And a bullet? All right. Half gram. Gold. 10 soft. And we're off. All this for one price. Nice. Resilient, man, Za. Resilience. Resilient.
Hero. I finally implemented search across my open curriculum. Not an easy task. But you can even filter by the courses you were in, or certain courses. It's features. Starting to feel like I'm a software guy now. Wow. Bitcoin appears 10 times. That's more than I would have thought.
I'm walking through the nature trails and an owl just flew past. And I've experienced it many times, but every time when you don't hear anything, it's still fucking amazing. Silent flight, so cool. Ooh. Owls? Ooh. Ooh. Big old barn owls.
Yeah, it's interesting that they evolved to basically fly silently.
I was thinking of putting a little owl house in my backyard, just because I think they're cool. I'm not sure. There's a lot of trees around and stuff, so I don't think it's really necessary. But there are owls around. We hear them at night talking to each other. It's pretty neat.
They're good to have. They eat rodents and crap.
Yeah. We have a bit of a population of cute little critters around. Some of them you don't want in the house, but yeah, circle of life.
There's some rules about like how far your owl house should be from the nearest owl house and all that stuff. I remember that because in San Diego, we'd moved to this brand new neighborhood in Scripps Ranch, and so there were a lot of both owls and rats because it was, we took over the desert. And so people were putting owl houses and they were all empty until finally somebody figured out,
Spirits of the Nile, accept this offering. May the journey of this extremely large bargain bin fish be swift and preferably odor-free. Spirits of the Nile.
Aquí para ti en tu comunidad.
they show up.
Yeah, I think I'm sure that's true. I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I just when they're around, I wonder, if they're in a house, would they use it? But they probably wouldn't. I do know that in my town, I just think this is funny. You need a permit for if you want chickens, and you got to get a permit if you want bees. And the permit form is the same form. You fill out whether it's chicken, so there's like a checkbox for chickens and a checkbox for bees.
Can you check both in the one form and have bees and chickens?
I doubt it. That would make sense. No making sense allowed in local government.
I can see it now. Huh? What do I do? They checked 2 boxes. I'm confused.
One of my neighbors actually got bees, and he did not submit a form. He just did it, but he basically had he's got a bee service. Like somebody just did it, and he paid them, and they put a box back there, put bees, and they come. I don't know how often, and they check on the bees, and they pull out the honey for them, and seems like a lazy way to do it. If I was going to do the bees part, most of it would be because I wanted to do the bee thing, but he's not quite that guy. But he's got honey, and I don't, so there you go.
Yeah, I like watching the videos of people who, the bee folk who come to the house to take the big beehive out of someone's, upside down pot that they have in the backyard, or an old shed in the backyard, and they don't wear suits. They just nicely move around. They find the queen, put the queen in this cardboard box, and a little bit of blowing smoke, and all the worker bees go over where the queen is. It's entertaining. It's kick-ass.
It's cool. We've had this happen a couple times now. 2 or 3 times at our house, and then with our neighbors even more. But the first time, we were like, oh my god, it kind of freaked us out. But now it's like, oh, it's no big deal at all. And because what I learned is that they usually leave. They swarm, they gather somewhere, and they hang out for a day or 2 until they find a better location, and then they go to that location. But so if they do decide your place is the good location, all you gotta do is call. There's local bee clubs, so you find a local bee person, and they're all excited because they get to get like a whole hive. So I had some guy come over, and he was all excited because it was like the first time that he had joined the local bee club. It was the first, there's a request, and somebody asks, he was the first person to respond, so he came over, and yeah, he was like, it took him a little while, but then once he found the queen, he put it in the box, and then he left, and he's like, I'll be back in like an hour. And in like an hour, all the bees were in there. And it was evening time, so by the time it got dark, it was just he just picked up the box and left. It was pretty efficient operation.
Hi, John.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, I had a question for you. Are you going to start your biophysics again?
I want to do something. I've been thinking about maybe running rooms where I talk about, take a Veritasium video or something like that. Kind of have a reading assignment, watching assignment, and then talk about that video. Andy sent me one the other day, but I thought you were going to about this thing.
You're
kind of in the matrix.
Not into spending much time. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm on a metro rail.
So when did you think about starting those? Because I'm going to start my rooms, but it's probably going to be in March.
Yeah. Well, I probably started pretty soon. I also want to do some kind of a D-ish thing, but I haven't quite figured that out. Hey, but while I'm on the topic of rooms, anybody else kind of had it as much as I have with Gary's stupid rooms, critical thinking forum?
Yep.
For years.
Yeah. Oh, I had it with him like a gazillion years ago. I don't go to
It's just like, so today, look at my PTR for the title of today, right? Critical thinking. And that's the title. And of course, what that ends up doing is normalizing the whole idea, and then also allowing maggots to come on stage and talk about
how, oh, well, Trump doesn't really want to do that. There is, however, an issue with, I try to kind of soften it, make what Trump actually means. Softer, so it just ignores the fundamental journalism.
Yeah, he creates it's like a whataboutism forum and nothing critical at all. It factored into why I have a critical thinking and a journalism unit, because there's no actual rigor for any of these people and their claims.
Oh, we've got a little police action going on in the subway train right now.
I need to burn.
Record it!
Yeah. Well, I think this may be a legitimate one. It's the Metro Police.
Record it. JCC's right. I mean, keep yourself in safety.
Transportation.
Be careful, John.
A brand new drive.
I'll have to leave Clubhouse to do it.
That's all right.
Be careful.
We'll be here.
Clubhouse Street.
Can you shut
The
up?
housing stock of working Americans, and can you maintain some level of dignity? Gentleman's time has expired.
Housing.
David,
Rents
what's
are too high. There aren't enough houses. However, can you shut
The
up?
housing stock of working Americans, and can you
project.
maintain some level of dignity? Gentleman's time has expired.
Housing.
Starting to grow.
Rents are too high. There aren't enough houses.
exactly sure.
However, one
Maybe
clear
we should
reason
talk about
that the housing crisis
what
has
could
grown
still
worse
work for
is
charging
that
people.
you
Yeah.
and the rest of the Trump administration
Are you saying
levied
it's worth
tariffs
something?
on housing production goods like lumber and steel, as well as appliances. These tariffs will result in half
Lumber is
reclaiming my time. You don't get to talk.
lumber is
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming
How
my
serious could
time.
people be? Should they have to pass the quiz to go to the next unit? That's well, Sam, you and Pro and John could probably put some
Hey, good to run into you. I heard you're
Clearly
building to the
didn't
gym
concentrate.
here, the House of Reps, literally.
Yes, House of Reps, that's exactly right. I'm trying to get as many reps as I can.
Maybe that's what's needed.
Neither do I.
Well, I didn't mean it that way, but yeah, just I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, so never mind.
Why don't you just do like a little, well, it depends what you want to do. I suppose I should start with that. But once you figure out what you want to do, if you just do a little get together, and I would do it off the app with people that you have, little focus group, see how people take to it, and if they like it, then you go to the next step.
Well, so what does it mean when people like it? There's a difference between you that already know something that may get, let's just say, limited use from having another information resource or educational resource to, it's in, the MVP aspect of it is it's a product that's mostly meant for people who care about the learning of their children, or I just don't know the education market who pays for information, and do they start with Coursera, back to what Ben might do is
There's a big market in courses that are third-party courses. I don't know if you know this. I'm thinking you might, but workforce courses are usually paid for by the workplace, and universities have thousands of them that they usually offload. So companies are a third-party provider of their workforce courses. And there's like a couple big companies out there, and that's all they do. And so they sell the courses. So if you can get into that space, that's an extremely lucrative space. The cash cow. It's the part of higher ed I know the least about. Really good friends of mine who runs the whole thing for our university. That's what she does. She's the head of continuing ed.
Is your Bible?
Stuff. So it's really a continuing ed platform. And in a way, it's a very little startup. Like they take in tons of money through that workforce continuing ed away. And then they try to on-ramp it off some people, the on-ramp will be that will lead them into an associate's or bachelor's, master's, doctorate, whatever level they're at. But it's like one company for us.
So it doesn't have to be states have to take, certain number of hours that, they do online. And some of are you kind of read it and then you take a quiz. Some of them you watch a video of a presentation. So that is a huge cash cow right there. If you can get into that market, but then you have to get your courses certified as continuing legal education or continuing medical education, things like that.
Hello, everyone. Joseph.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I know that CFP financial advisors, they have to have a continuing component, and they're every couple of years, it's like, oh, I need to take 30 hours of something that's related to insurance, so I can fulfill a requirement. So, yeah, that is definitely an avenue.
Well, what is your end goal for this? What is it that you want to accomplish?
Well, it's the same frustration we've talked about on this app, is that not enough people either learn civics or have a place that explains to them not just what they were supposed to learn to pass a test on the Constitution, but why don't, the difference between theory and practice. So I'm trying to bridge in the critical thinking section, it's what they're not teaching in Texas history. So I'm essentially not trying to be what school is, but I'm trying to give a more pragmatic, applied education. But, I mean, play around and tell me if I'm even achieving that. That might not be all that important. But basically, I'm seeing the atrophy of state level education here in Texas as they turn their emphasis towards the Bible and what's already an environmental problem where football and popularity is more important than learning. And I have a wider vision. I mean, what I want is for young people to help teach each other, and maybe not to reject the classroom model, but to think about how can we use, I don't want to say social media, but technology to shorten the distance between learners and tutors, and learners and pen pals, people that will stay engaged both socially and motivationally. That's a pretty lofty goal, though.
I put one of the Ed2Go links up top. This is from off of our website for I grabbed a couple $1,000 to get the certification. It's sort of the industry standard, and then you're on your merry way. And then they try to, of course, get you to flip that into, hey, you want to do a whole program? Before you know it, you're enrolling for a bachelor's degree in something. And this has a for-profit kind of feel in this wing of, because it's the non-academic side, because there's no academic credits attached to it, right? But, they try to flip that into you doing something else later. Put these badges together, these certifications together, and before you know it, you're ready to do a associate's, bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, depending where you're at, right? And if your work will pay for it, kind of thing.
Yeah, so looking at this, gets the money? Is it not? I mean, it sounds like, just looking at it, this is all straight to the university, so.
Yeah, we do. Like I said, it's a
This
cap
is a-
amount. So we get the money, but then we pay, of course, Ed to go a piece of that. It's a happy symbiotic relationship.
Just trying to look at it. Go away. Object all. Alright. You said Ed to go? What was the company? The affiliate?
Ed with the number 2. Ed to go.
Oh, it's kind of hidden at the very bottom. That it's a division of Cengage Learning. I see it.
Is just so that you know too, like you know Cengage is or not?
No, sir.
So one of the biggest publishers in the country's in-house name. So when you go like, you know, Pearson is like my math lab. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody has their own little name, you know. So
A white label. Yeah, I got you. So you guys are white labeling Cengage, or I guess Ed to go.
Ed to go is it's I don't know what the percent breakdown. I imagine it's 50-60% that we keep, and they keep the rest, something like that. But WebAssign is the platform name for Cengage. So you have Cengage. Pearson's worth about like $4 billion, in that $4 billion range, right? Cengage is a little smaller. And you put that on a platform level, just to put it in perspective, that's about the worth of Roblox. You know what I'm saying? So it's big money, right? But yeah, I definitely know the people who do it, but it's not a us. But I know very well the people who do this for us.
I noticed a funny thing when so both my kids have taken their drivers, you know, like instruction. And a couple years ago, my son did it. Well, and my daughter just did it recently. But you got to go online, and they have to they have to pass the test before they pass the written test. Before they take the written test, they have to show that they have taken a course, right? So you go online and you type in, you know, California DMV, you know, or actually on the DMV site they have a list, and there's like a bunch of there might be 100 different websites you can go to, and I know that it wasn't that long ago when there were like 2 or 4. So I think what's happening is people have figured out that getting certified or whatever, like approved by the DMV, is not that hard to do, maybe, and I can only guess they've copied each other. And are just throwing up websites, you know, as webs. Well, I mean, this is probably pre-AI, but now, so even before AI, like websites were kind of getting easier to make, and because there's sort of like template sites out there, and it seems like some farm of DMV test prep website got stood up, and now it's like, and then the prices are going down because there's really nothing involved, you know, no labor involved once it's created.
Yep.
You kind of copy and paste your content from another site, or at least the structure of it, or get it, you know, different enough to not. Anyways, it's kind of funny. So at some point there'll be like 10,000 different schools, and super easy, super cheap. That's DMV.